She's scared. Please, she won't stop crying and I don't know what scared her. The woman said it to the street sweeper who had paused his work 6 feet away, broom in hand, watching a small girl sitting on the curb of Aldrin Avenue with her face pressed into her knees and her small shoulders shaking. The mother was 30 years old, crouched beside her daughter, one hand on the child's back, her voice carrying the specific helplessness of a parent whose comfort is not, in this moment, the thing that is needed. His name was Colt Marin, 33 years old. He set his broom against the city trash receptacle, carefully, the way he set everything down, and crouched on the other side of the little girl. He did not touch her. He did not speak immediately. He looked at the sidewalk in front of her, and then at the gutter where a paper cup was moving in the slight morning wind, and then, very quietly, he said, "Hey. The cup is going on an adventure." The crying slowed. Just slightly. "It's going toward the drain," he said, in the same low, unhurried voice. "If it makes it, it wins." The girl lifted her face 2 inches from her knees. Her name was Willa. She was 4 years old and she had, 11 minutes ago, become separated from her mother for approximately 90 seconds in the Saturday morning market crowd, which was, at 4 years old, long enough to be the most frightening 90 seconds of her life. She watched the cup. "It won," Colt said. "It made it to the drain." Willa looked at him. He looked at her with the direct, calm steadiness of someone who has decided that what this child needs is not pity or performance but simply a person who is all the way present. "Are you the street sweeper?" she asked. "I am," he said. "Do you sweep every street?" "All the ones on my route," he said. "Aldrin Avenue, Merchant Street, the little one behind the bakery that doesn't have a sign." She wiped her face with her sleeve. "What's in the little one?" "Pigeons," he said. "And one very opinionated cat." She almost smiled. Almost. Her mother, Della Voss, 30 years old, watched the exchange from 6 inches away with the specific, helpless gratitude of a parent watching a stranger do something she had been unable to do, not from lack of love but from lack of the right angle. She had been too inside the fear herself to come at it from outside it the way this man had, with his cup going on an adventure and his cat with opinions. She had not recognized him. She had no reason to. He was wearing the city utilities vest and had a broom and was doing his Saturday route on Aldrin Avenue the way he had been doing it for 4 months. What she did not know, what no one on Aldrin Avenue that Saturday knew except the 2 men in the black car parked at the far end of the block, was that the street sweeper was Colt Marin, who had, until 14 months ago, been the CEO of Marin Group, a logistics and supply chain company with offices in 4 cities. He had stepped down voluntarily. Not from failure, from something that had clarified itself over 2 years of building and running and succeeding. He had become, without noticing the becoming, someone he didn't recognize. The work had hollowed him. The title had replaced him. He had one day looked at his reflection in a conference room window and not known the man looking back. He had resigned on a Thursday. He had applied for the city utilities position on a Friday. His former board had thought he had experienced a breakdown. He had tried to explain that it was the opposite. He was not sure they had understood. He was 4 months into the route. He was, for the first time in 7 years, sleeping properly. The black cars arrived 12 minutes after Willa stopped crying. 3 of them, which was not typical for a Saturday morning on Aldrin Avenue. They parked with the quiet efficiency of vehicles that are accustomed to arriving where they intend to go. The men who got out were in suits, which was also not typical, and 2 of them were looking at Colt with the focused attention of people who have found what they came to find. The 3rd man was someone Colt recognized. His name was August Hale, 61 years old. He had been the lead investor in Marin Group for 5 of the 7 years Colt had run it, and he was also, more significantly, the father of one of Colt's closest friends from his early career, and he had been looking for Colt for 11 months with the specific, determined patience of a man who has decided someone is needed and is not going to stop until he finds them. Colt stood up slowly. He looked at August. He looked at the cars. Della looked at the cars. Then at the street sweeper. Then at the cars again. You know those people, she said. One of them, Colt said. He had the expression of someone who has been living very quietly and has just heard a door knock. August waited while Colt made sure Willa was fully settled, which he did, finishing the conversation about the cat behind the bakery and learning that Willa's preferred animal was a horse and that she had specific opinions about this, before walking over. 4 months, August said. You're not easy to find. I wasn't trying to be easy to find, Colt said. August looked at Willa, who had now claimed Colt's broom and was conducting her own investigation of the gutter. Then at Della, who was watching all of this with the expression of someone who has landed inside a story significantly larger than the one she thought she was in. I'm not here to take you back, August said. I'm here because we're building something different. A supply chain nonprofit, connecting small community businesses with infrastructure they can't afford independently. It needs someone who understands the systems and also understands. He paused. He looked at Willa with the broom. This. Colt was quiet for a moment. You drove 3 cars to find me on a street corner. I drove 3 cars to Aldrin Avenue because my assistant said you were here, August said. The street corner is where you happen to be. He paused. Is this what you want to keep doing? Colt looked at his route. At Aldrin Avenue. At Willa, who had successfully swept 3 inches of sidewalk and was reporting the results to her mother. At Della, who was watching her daughter with the specific, complete warmth of a parent whose child is okay again. No, he said honestly. But I needed to do it for a while. I know, August said. That's why I waited 11 months. Della found out who he was 3 days later, from a news article her coworker forwarded, about the former logistics CEO who had taken a city street sweeping job and had been quietly recruited back into the nonprofit sector. There was a photograph of Aldrin Avenue. She recognized the trash receptacle. She thought about Willa and the cup going on an adventure. She thought about a man who had set down his broom carefully and crouched on the sidewalk and said exactly the right thing at the right level. She sent a message through the nonprofit's contact form. Just one line. * Your broom is still on Aldrin Avenue. Willa wants to know if the cat with opinions has a name. *. He replied the same evening. * Chester. He is opinionated about fish and about Tuesdays specifically. Tell Willa he says hello. *. She read it to Willa at bedtime. Willa said Chester was a good name and that she hoped he was warm. Colt read the reply and smiled in the quiet of his apartment and went to sleep early, the way he had been doing for 4 months, the way he intended to keep doing, the way that happened when you had spent a day doing work that was the right size for what you were. Do the work that is in front of you. Crouch down to the right level. The cup going on an adventure is sometimes all that's needed, and the person who knows to say it is the person who has stayed close enough to the ground to see it. If this story touched your heart, please like, share, subscribe, and comment. Let's spread more stories of kindness and hope together.